Okay, in this video we are going to continue slicing up our website, into the various elements required to build it over in GoLive, and we just finished slicing up the homepage. Rob, why don't you go ahead and continue?
Okay. Now that we've done the homepage, I think that was really the hardest part.
Yeah, probably. I think it was the most complex page anyway.
Right. It's certainly the most complex. So we can turn the homepage off now. And let's move on. We'll just start going up the stack.
Wow, that's a lot of slices just sitting there.
That is a lot of slices. Now, you have an option at this point. If you want to keep these slices and these slice settings, you could save as, like do a file save as, and save it as a separate Photoshop document. That way you'd have all your settings saved next time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. In this case, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But at home, if I were doing this and I really thought I wanted to keep all those settings, I would definitely do that.
Okay.
So,
and just call it like, your web page and like homepage sliced.
Right.
And that way you have it to access whenever.
Right.
That's cool.
So here's our products page. It looks pretty ugly at this point because we have slices all over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through here and just delete the ones that we don't need.
Systematically destroy the slices.
Yep. Just select them, hit delete. I'm going to keep that one.
You're going to reuse it?
And I'm going to reuse it. I'm just going to slide it up.
Okay.
So that meets that line right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure that it's snapped right. No, we're a pixel off.
Oh, no.
Those darn pixels. Okay, there we go.
You feel better?
I feel a lot better, actually.
Good.
Thanks.
Just keep breathing. Yeah, I know.
Right. So, let's go ahead and knock out all the titles real quickly because this will be very easy to do. Now, we know we're going to have the title in the same space every single time as we go through these layers. So what we can do is base off the longest one, which I'm sure is going to be testimonials.
Sure.
And slide it on down. And that's a pretty good spot right there. And let's work our way up the chain. And I'll start with products. And I'm just going to start saving these out individually.
Okay. You're going to go ahead and slice all those out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's double click on that. We'll call this products title.
All right.
File, save for web.
You just did it again.
What did I do?
You typed product instead of products, just like you did like way earlier when we were building the site.
Oh, well, allow me to change that.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. I just thought I'd tell you.
You gotta watch for those typos. And these are going to be all GIF files because they're all text. And they're already optimized. Don't need transparency, don't need diffusion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that made a difference. Let's see if I click diffusion. File size wise, it made no difference.
So dithering doesn't matter.
So in this case, it doesn't matter.
Cool.
So let's hit save. Selected slices.
Kablam.
As long as we keep that selected slices on, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So all I gotta do is swap out the next one, hit file, save for web again. We're good.
Starting to notice a pattern here.
Yep, we're good. Save. See?
You forgot to rename.
I forgot to rename it.
Look at you rushing.
Yeah, so I'm glad it warned you.
Yeah.
So let's name it.
Photoshop just smacked you, man. Pow.
News
title. Yeah.
Right, save. Okay. Moving on up. Save web. We're good.
You did it again. Did it like twice in a row.
I'm
Man,
totally losing it.
Rename the slice. You can do it.
It's hard work.
I know. All right, rename now. Right now.
Okay, now I rename.
Okay, yeah. History title. You got like that some sort of mental block.
I do.
It's all good.
Save for web.
Oh, yeah.
At least if it didn't warn you, you'd definitely be in bad shape.
Yeah. That would bite.
Okay, I'm going to do it here. Contact.
You almost didn't do it again. Did you see how close you just came?
I did. I saved myself.
Right there to the edge.
I heard your voice in my head.
I know you did.
Okay, so there we're done. We're done with all the titles.
Okay, awesome. What?
Well, let's move on to our products. Now, we have a decision to make here as to how we're going to approach this. We have a larger product image. So this is larger than the one we had on the homepage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so we're going to need to have a larger. We're going to have to save this one
like
again.
A new version.
A new version, right? And that's fine. You see that You see that a lot.
Yeah.
There's always a click for a larger image, and there's probably like 3 or 4 versions of the same image. So I'm going to...
Oh, you're a lot of pixels off on that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're good now, though. And we'll call this product. What do I call it? Log?
Yeah.
1, and we'll call this one big.
Big.
Just
Well, that
sort of
says it all
extra
right
extension. Yep. Or I could say big 01. No, I'm going to say, and it's really...
That sounds like 601.
It sounds like a trivial choice.
Uh-huh.
But it can matter later on if you're doing a giant website.
And if you're looking at a giant list of stuff.
Right. If you're having to sort through all the names.
Sure.
But I'm going to leave it as it is. That's good.
Okay.
So, our next choice. Now, this border rule here, we're not going to slice. We don't need to do that. We're going to do that in GoLive.
All right.
We don't need any of this text or the headline.
We just need that gradient.
We just need this gradient.
Yep.
So let's grab that gradient and zoom in.
Now, I notice you're not just grabbing the whole thing.
Right.
You're just kind of grabbing a little thin swatch at the top.
The reason is it's going to be a repeatable pattern. Meaning it's not going to matter how much text is in here.
Right.
If this text goes a lot longer or a lot shorter, it will still...
That gradient will just keep on going.
It'll be right in the background, right behind it.
So what happens is we grab this one little tiny thin strip of gradient, and it just gets copied below itself over and over and over and over.
Right.
And when we're done, it looks like one big wide gradient.
That's right.
That's cool.
It is.
Nice trick. Saves us a lot of file size too.
Yeah. So let's select him. We'll call him. Where are we? Products.
Gradient.
Okay.
All right.
And really, that's all we need from this page.
Okay.
So let's save those 2 guys out. I don't have to select them here. It doesn't really. I can select them in my Save for Web area. They just have to be selected. Okay, we're going to make him a JPEG. We'll make his file quality, let's say 40. Looks pretty good. Our gradient, we're going to leave it. See, it's not using all the 256 colors, so we know that's pretty good.
Just chopping off.
It's not using too many colors. And it's a tiny file size.
That's good.
So we're good here. In this case, I'm going to leave diffusion on.
Mm-hmm.
And even though transparency is on, we haven't selected anything, so it's going to be okay.
Sure.
So I have to make sure these 2 guys are selected. 1. Oops, not you. You.
All right.
Okay, hit save. Save.
Cool.
Very good. We're done with the products page. So let's move on.
This is easier than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. So we're not going to need this guy anymore. I select him and hit delete.
Now, once again, we're deleting these slices because we won't need them anymore. But if you at home, if you want to save those slices for later, just save a different copy of the page.
Right. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy too.
Okay.
All of this is going to be text. In fact,
sure. I think all you really need is
all of this is
image,
text except for the image.
Yeah.
Right. So
which has a drop shadow.
Right. So you have to be careful about drop shadows. You don't want to. You have 2 choices. Once again, you have 2 choices. You can make a generic drop shadow, which you could place under all your images, or you can make it for each individual photo.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I'm going to grab the whole thing.
Okay. So, like, GoLive has the ability to make drop shadows as well?
Well, it's not. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make drop shadows. Actually, what I was referring to is you could slice this up in such a way that you could have a reusable drop shadow.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You basically leave a hole
you chop
here,
out the drop shadow itself.
right, and then have this as a drop shadow.
Yeah.
Coming down as separate pictures. This would be like at least 2 pictures, or maybe 3 if you had the corner.
That sounds like work.
Yeah. We're not going to do that in this case.
We want this to be easy.
Yeah. You know how to do it because I just told you.
Right.
So if you need to do that, you can. Undo that. Okay. That looks pretty good. I think we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom back out. In fact, that's
all we really need.
That's all we need. So
yeah.
let's go ahead and save him. Let's name him first. We'll call him News.
Machine.
Yeah. Okay. Save for web. And we'll make him a JPEG.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a photo. And he's a little bit grainy. Let's see how he looks. That's higher resolution. Oh, that's bad. I'm going to say Let's say 40 on this one.
Okay, puts in about 10K.
Mm-hmm. That's not too bad. Look in here in the shadow too. You can see where it starts to break up. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Oops, is that right? That's right, because that's all I wanted.
That should be right.
That's the only one selected.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I think you did well.
Okay, and I named it.
You go, man.
You make yourself paranoid after a while.
Yeah. You sound it. Well, I mean, between you and those pixels, man. Like one pixel off. Oh no. No, you should be that way. I just like teasing you.
Well, if you're doing it for yourself, it doesn't matter so much. If you're doing it for someone else.
Oh, you should always keep track of your pixels.
That's true.
But it's just, something to razz you about, and that's important to me.
Always something.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to reuse this guy here. I'm going to
how convenient.
Resize it.
Again, including that drop shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It's subtle, but it's there.
Zoom in, see, make sure I didn't clip it off any. Yeah, we're good.
So you got something you're snapping to there.
I think we're okay.
That'll probably work. Probably bring it in.
I'm gonna hide. Hit Control. If you can hit Control H in here, it'll hide everything.
Oh wow.
And you hit Control H again, it'll bring it back. So wait, we do that. So I'm gonna bring him all the way to the border here.
Yeah, because I think the drop shadow is only on the lower left.
Yeah. So let's zoom back out. Oh, here's something.
Uh-oh.
We're going to have all these photos.
Yeah.
Now, we could do that generic border thing again. No, I think, once again, this is going to be a good place to just use a regular... But because we're going to have more than two quotes here...
Well, yeah, what's going through your mind here? Because you're like off on a tangent right now. You saw something.
Yeah.
Now, what did you see and what are you thinking about?
Here's what's hurting my head.
Share with us.
In GoLive, we're going to do this entire page. Right now, we only have two pictures.
Right, but we're going to have like 5 later.
Right, we're going to have more later. So what we're going to end up having to do is basically place all of these photos into one frame and then save them out separately.
Okay.
Like, because there's what, 6?
Sure, yeah, there's
5
or
or 6. So we'll do that separately. So I don't even need to do this right now.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're going to save those out. We're going to save all these guys out separately.
Okay.
So let's move on to history. And the only thing here we need...
That's because you want the sizes of all those photos to match up exactly.
Right, to be exactly the same size.
Yeah.
So in history, we'll use our slice select tool.
Again, catching that drop shadow.
Yep. We're good on the edge, on this edge. And naming him, we'll call him History Cabin. And save for web.
Mm-hmm. JPEG again.
JPEG. Let's take a look at him.
Wow, 6K.
That's good. So here he is originally. Here he is optimized. I don't even really notice. I can hardly tell the difference. So, and that's, as you said, 6K. That's pretty tiny.
Yeah.
Save. Okay, moving right along.
All right, that leaves us down to the contacts page, which really only has this one image.
Once again, we have one image to deal with, so let's use what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom in here. Make sure everything's good.
Check those pixels.
We're a little off up here. There we go. Don't want any wasted pixels, do we? Come down a little bit.
There we go.
And in fact, we're one off over here. Okay, we're all good.
Yeah.
So we name him. Contact. Rings. Tree rings. I'm just sort of putting it all together.
Sure.
Now, here's something to think about when you're saving names. Never put a space in your names.
Yeah, notice you've been using underscores.
Right. I use underscores. Some people use dashes. You do not want to put a space for the simple reason that some web servers do not like to have spaces in names.
And they'll chop off the file name.
They'll chop off the file name or something worse. You can break scripts easily by having spaces in your names.
So just don't do it.
Right.
Make sure there's underscores or dashes or something.
Right. In the end, this name will say contact_treerings.gif.
Gotcha.
Or JPEG.
And if you start grabbing images off the web, if you ever right-click on an image to save it to your hard drive for any reason, you'll notice that a lot.
That's right.
Everybody names their images that way.
Right. And also notice that file names. Come back here. Okay, these guys are case sensitive. So you have to be, if you put
like a capital T.
Yeah, especially on Unix servers, they look for case. If you made a capital T, tree rings and you saved it both with capital and a lowercase, those are two different files according to the server. So if you were to change it later and had capitalization somewhere in there, that's why I make all of my file names lowercase.
I gotcha.
Just as a standard.
Very nice.
Okay.
Good to know.
Good tip. Save for web. Okay.
Probably another JPEG. You might be able to get away with a GIF. It seems like
there's only a few colors in there, but it's a huge it's a huge size. Let's see what happens when we take them down to like 32 colors.
Still 75K.
Let's turn off dither.
Kind of heavy.
Usually turning off dither will help too. And transparency.
Not
really. No, we're going back to JPEG.
Yeah, which now down to 20K.
Down to 20K.
Yeah.
So that's a lot better.
Much better.
Okay. Save. Awesome. And I believe we've covered the entire website.
Yeah, I think we've just sliced the whole thing up. So all we have left to do is to format those testimonial images.
Right.
So that we're ready to use those. And then I suppose at that point we're ready to move over into GoLive.
That's right.
So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.